Project management and finance. A project manager has to know about finance, and that's what we're going to do in this new video offered to you by the Ceuster Academy. If you're here for the first time, please subscribe to our channel by clicking on the subscribe button and on the little bell so that you will be warned whenever we upload a new video. Project managers have to understand many things, and one of them is finance. The project manager has to understand the basics of finance and even more, because he or she will be communicating with a lot of people, and projects relate to finance. They want to create something positive. They want to create savings, make profits. Now, the classical project manager was typically the person who had to organize the project, lead the project in a way that the goals were met related to time, scope and cost. The project managers were managing the project according to the rules they had been given. They were giving updates, they were dealing with changes, approving changes, implementing changes, and of course making a lot of decisions. Typically in this part, finance was not included. They were looking at the project as such, and within the parameters that were given to them, they were optimizing the project. Now, we know today that the company strategy is also a very important element. As a project manager, you have to understand what the company strategy is. We create projects to create value, to create new goals within the company, to realize the company strategy. And the project is about that. The project manager should work within those boundaries. They have to include the strategic financial parameters of the project. Now, the business element of project management has become more and more important. The function of a project manager has evolved from somebody who was managing the project to somebody who was in fact integrating the project within the strategy of the company or the organization. Understanding business is very important. As a project manager, you will communicate with different functions within the company. When you're talking to the financial people, for example, the CFO, you have to talk CFO-ish. You have to use terminology that the CFO understands. With the CTO, a technical officer, you have to talk CTO-ish. You have to express the project related to the technical advantages. You have to adjust your explanations to the type of people you are talking to. Now, talking to the CTO may be a lot easier than talking to the CFO, because you're the project manager of a technical project, you understand the technology, and you're excited about the technology. But on the other hand, the CFO is looking at projects in a different way. The finance, what are the financial parameters? How is this going to affect our business case? These are elements that you have to understand. And as a project manager, you have to have a broader knowledge. You have to be integrated within the strategy of the company, the strategy of your department, of your division. Being a project manager today is more than just managing projects. It has become a more challenging job. I already spoke about the business case. The business case is the basis for any project. The business case states, for example, what will be the financial returns of the project. Now, the project manager, after planning the project, starts to execute the project, and the project manager has to monitor the progress. progress related to schedule and cost, and we have to see that the deliverables are provided, are created during the execution. What is the timing to create those deliverables? What is the cost compared to the original case? These are questions that you as a project manager have to be able to answer. We have already some videos about earned value management, and earned value management gives you an estimate of the project at completion. It will show you how the project may evolve, and it gives you a very interesting view on the financial parameters, because when you have an estimation how much the project will cost at the end, you can review what are the financial parameters. How does our project comply with the business case? And we make projects to have a profit. So basically, when you see that your project has no chance to succeeding, to making a project, it may be better to stop the project or to kill it. It doesn't mean that everything is lost, but you will stop investing money in a lost case. You will use the remaining money to invest in better, different projects. And that's also your responsibility to identify what's going on with the project. Changes. Projects may have changes, probably have changes. Now, it's not only the triple constraint that we have, but when we have changes, we have to see what is the effect of these changes on the business case, on the financial parameters, on the delivery parameters. What are the effects of these changes? Do these changes support the business strategy? All those elements have to be reviewed when we do changes. The people who are deciding about the changes have to understand what the impact of their decisions on the project and on the profitability of the project is. Now, the main question is that the changes have to be supporting the strategy. One of the elements means that they are bringing the company into the direction that the management wants to go, and of course it should be within the economical parameters that have been set within the strategy. Now, it's very important that the project manager also looks at the different financial parameters. We have the different financial parameters that we have: the payback time, the return on investment, net present value, profitability index, the internal rate of return, and maybe some other parameters that have been defined by the company. All these things are very important when the project manager and the team have to review changes. This was another presentation related to the project manager and finance. The project manager is more than just a project manager. He or she has to understand what is the strategy of the company, how does the project fit into that strategy, what are the financial parameters, and how does it change during execution? Can we still be following, or are we still within the conditions of the original business case? If not, as a project manager together with the sponsor, you may have to make the terribly difficult decision to kill your project. But it may be necessary, because making projects and creating losses will never help your company's strategy. One little remark: when we have project integrated in the portfolio, we may have to consider other parameters. How important is that project compared to all the projects we have together? So it's not just looking at the one project, but it also may include looking at all the projects, the entire portfolio, sub-portfolio of the organization. And killing a project that is necessary because it will support other projects, may be a big mistake. So be careful here. That was another presentation, a video related to the project manager, the new function of the project manager. It's also leading to the financial definition or decisions that we as a project manager have to make. I hope you liked it. There are more elements that are coming. There are some videos about the financial parameters that will explain you in depth what all these financial parameters are and what they mean. But that's what's it for this video. If you're here for the first time, don't forget to click on the subscribe button, click on the bell so that you are warned when we upload a new video. And of course, give us some feedback, like the video, write your questions in the comments, and we will come back to you. Let's see you in the next video. Bye bye.